Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is your favorite introvert back with some more random relationship advice. As I always say, I'm not here to pressure you to like, comment, or subscribe, but feel free to do any of those if you so choose. My goal with these relationship videos is to pass on helpful advice about implementing better ways of communicating to have healthier relationships with those around you. This is part 2 of my series, Relationships, the Art of Communication. So being new at this, I want everyone to feel comfortable and welcomed. Feeling wanted, knowing you matter, your feelings matter, and being seen and heard are important in any relationship, but properly communicating those things to your partner and others are the key to successful relationships. I want you all to know that I appreciate you watching my videos, and I never want you to feel like I'm just talking at you for some views or likes. When you click the view button, I want you to feel like you're coming over to my house and we're chatting like friends. When I make these videos, I want the viewer to be able to feel the sincerity in my words and the desire in my efforts to let you know you aren't the only one out there who has been through or going through these things, and that you have someone who genuinely wants to help you better understand and apply the power of good communication in every relationship in your life. I will also be making videos in this series that will highlight wasted effort in communication and help you to understand that even your best communication will not change certain people and situations, because not all relationships are formed with emotionally mature people, which hinders the ability to have emotionally healthy and mature communication. In every relationship, you know there are times when we go through rough patches, and I'm here to help you better communicate your needs and wants to your partner so that there can be more times where you feel in sync with the one you love and less times where you feel neglected, unseen, or unheard. So I'm going to jump back to a previous conversation about why relationships fail. As I said before, it's all in the way you communicate with each other. Again, this just doesn't apply to one specific type of relationship. You can apply this to the relationship with your boss, coworkers, friends, family, strangers, spouses, etc. Here's this scenario. I want you to imagine someone in your life saying the phrase, "We need to talk." What's your initial reaction to hearing that phrase? Do you immediately become apprehensive because that simple phrase triggers a serious tone in you? Do you start running worst case scenarios over in your head because, talks never are a good thing? Does your brain immediately go, "Oh no, they did something bad and they want to confess"? Do you flip it and start worrying, "Oh no, they know about," insert any number of things that you did that you are worried they found out about? When you communicate effectively in all areas of your relationship, these thoughts won't be an issue. Hearing this phrase would bring a positive feeling and not a negative one, because talking means you sort out issues and respect each other's thoughts, boundaries, and opinions. You are on a mission together to resolve problems, not create more. Proper communication with those around you helps both parties with trust issues and having a deeper, more meaningful connection. You can't have a deep, meaningful connection with others when you lead with fear. When people fear communicating their true feelings, they start pretending everything is okay and hiding or lying about how they really feel. At this point, you aren't having a relationship with another person. You aren't being who you truly are. You are perfecting your acting skills and learning to be someone else. Hiding and lying only lead to bigger issues and problems. Most people lie to hide facets of themselves that they believe are unlovable. Some people hide food addictions. Some people hide sexual addictions. Some people hide smoking or drinking and/or inferiority complexes. They are hiding because of insecurities in themselves. We don't want others to think of us as weak, so becoming a great actor or actress is necessary to cover up our perceived failures. Having open communication within any relationship will lead to stronger bonds and deeper connections, but you have to be willing to put your vulnerability on the line. I know, it's scary, but it's a necessary sacrifice to have deep and meaningful relationships. Now, I'm not saying just jump right in at the beginning and spill your guts out, but once you deem the other person is emotionally worthy, it's the next door that needs opening in order to connect in the relationship. Another important step is finding their love language. Our love languages are all different. If someone brings you flowers and you don't like flowers, do you say thank you and accept the gesture as thoughtful? Do you feel annoyed? Do you feel like it's the thought that counts? Or does that make you feel like you aren't being listened to? The common phrase, "You never listen to me. You don't care enough to know what I like or dislike," is usually thrown around when things like that happen. So, if you have properly communicated your feelings on flowers, then the other party has disregarded your thoughts and feelings and is simply not putting forth the effort to listen. If this is the first time this situation has happened, calmly explain in detail why you don't appreciate the gesture, i.e., you like flowers but are allergic, or would just rather see them blooming naturally, have a bad experience involving flowers. Whatever your reason is, explain it in a manner that you know could not be overlooked. If it happens again, then you definitely know this is not just a miscommunication. It's thoughtlessness, a disregard for how you feel. When someone disregards little things about you, it's because they really aren't paying attention to you. When someone doesn't pay attention to you, then you aren't important to them. If someone likes something, they pay close attention. Here's a couple examples. If a guy or a girl is into fashion, they can recognize many designer labels, brands, and logos. Why? Because it's important to them and it's what they choose to spend time learning about. Like, "Sophia, look at that girl's Gucci bag. I saw that, but did you notice her Louboutin shoes?" Someone who doesn't care about fashion would not have a clue about those things because they don't have an interest in it. On the other hand, a guy or a girl into football can name the team's logos, players, and call out bad plays while watching the games. Why? Because it's what they like. They made the effort to learn about it because it's important to them. Things we like, we put effort into learning about. So if your partner isn't learning things about you, they aren't interested because it's not that important to them. If they have promised to change and you hear only the words of change without effort and growth, it is nothing more than manipulation. The amount of effort will show you the position they want to hold in your life, even if someone takes accountability. Without action, there can be no growth. But if you haven't explained your feelings properly, then again, as I said in the previous video, no one is a mind reader. What is your love language? Communicate that to the other person. Because what I have found in a lot of cases, we act out in a way towards others how we ourselves want to be treated. So, for example, if you personally like words of affirmation, you typically would speak encouragement to others, thinking that you have given something of value. But if touch, like a pat on the back or a hug for a job well done, is your way of feeling appreciated, words of affirmation may fall flat and not truly be welcomed as a deeply caring gesture. In a loving relationship, when you truly care for someone, you pay attention to these little details about the other person. Sometimes, people can only love you the way they know how. Just because they aren't loving you in the way you want doesn't mean they aren't loving you the only way or the best way they know how. That is why communicating what makes you feel valued, respected, and cared for is so incredibly important. We are all different, and not everyone grows up with healthy examples of relationships. A lot of people grow up with very toxic examples, or no real examples, of relationships. That is why so many people continue these toxic cycles in their own relationships, because that's what they saw or experienced in their own lives. There is a way out of these cycles, but acknowledging them and then personally working to understand how to break these cycles when they happen is the only way to gain the emotional maturity needed to have healthy and happy relationships with yourself and with others. This is achieved through calm, loving, and positive communication. People laugh when I say the most important relationship is within yourself. The inner dialogue we have for ourselves must be positive in order to positively project it towards others. The saying, "How you love yourself is how you teach others to love you," is a very important thing to always remember. The next time you get upset with someone, ask yourself if you have properly communicated to the other person how you feel, and is it blatant disregard for your feelings, or is it miscommunication on your part? Sometimes it's our own fault as to why we aren't getting the treatment we want. If you are clear and precise about communication, then you can clearly figure out if the problem lies in the lack of communication or the lack of regard for your feelings. Example: if you ask me if I want anything to eat and I say no, then you don't bring me any food and I get upset saying you should have known I wanted food. That isn't miscommunication. That's blatant mind games and manipulation. If you want food, then tell them. Don't expect for them to guess there was another option when you clearly communicated only one option. If you want something, ask for it. That way there's no way that someone can misconstrue what you said. Mind games have no place in mature relationships. If you want healthy relationships, then make healthy choices about how you communicate with others. I'm going to wrap this up for now, and I'll be back with a part 3 to talk more about relationships and how to better communicate with each other. This is your favorite introvert, signing off until next time.